So not too long ago, I got second place. My name's Greg, you're watching How to Play Paintball. What I wanted to do in this video is go through some of the things that I learned at the Latin American Championship. So as cool as this medal is, it's also bittersweet. Making it all the way into Sunday, that deep, undefeated, and then going in and losing in overtime to a dirty hang really sucks. So what I wanted to do is go through a couple things that I learned that you guys can also learn from to implement while you're actually getting into, whether it be deeper into a tournament or you just want more help. So first things first is honestly something that we did very well, and this was actually from Gant, that is one of the owners for Tactics. He's the one that makes the headband thing that I was wearing. He was the one that was saying, let's not be too high, not too low, right in the middle. And I think that's really important. There's a lot of times that people get hyped and they're running in the pit and just, There's also the opposite where you're really upset. That poison in the pit when you're upset can really be a detriment to other players. The other side of it is just as true. When you're getting real hyped, you're using a lot more energy. And even Gant was the one that said it. He's like, yeah, I was like, and realized, whoa, I felt like that took a lot out of me. And you need to save every little bit because you don't want that to be that little bit of, I'm a little bit slower because of using too much energy. So that's definitely something that I'm really taking away from this, is not too high, not too low, right in the middle. And I think he actually stole that from PB Fit, which clearly they're doing very well. So let's learn from them. So it's definitely something that you guys should be incorporating. This one you guys might disagree with, and it would be something that you'd have to really think about your team. With our group, I wasn't really sure that it was going to be best for me to say this, but when we were playing, I had some of those times where you just feel unstoppable. There's really no other way to describe it, where you just feel like, I'm not losing this gunfight, I'm gonna destroy this other team. You just have this confidence about you. And there might be some teams that's helpful, or maybe a certain player that you're like, I'm on that level, and both of you are like, cool. But you should learn your team and see how is it that other players are gonna react to that, because you don't want to bring them too high, just like we talked about recently, and you don't want them to feel like, oh, well, I don't have that same confidence, so it might bring them down. So understanding your team and understanding like what it is that you can say is really important. There's certain players that it's gonna help when you get in their face and you're like, let's go, and just have that energy. There's other players that it's just like, hey, trust the process. Hey, you've already put in the work, let's go. And that's all that you need to say. And once you've built those relationships and understand how each player is going to react, that's huge. Some players are going to pick up on it quicker than others. Like Colin Cherry is a player that I've known for a long time. We've played against each other, but never played with each other. So it took like 15 years, it feels like. And what I appreciated is that he saw, okay, here's kind of like verbal affirmations for you. I think this is going to be something that kind of spurs you on, and I appreciated that. And then even just like the simple high fives, make the connections, all of that stuff, whatever it might be, whatever is going to help your players to make that progression is really going to be helpful. So you want to make sure that you're understanding, how can I encourage my player that is, whether they're next to you or maybe they're even playing the same position as you. You want to make sure that, hey, this is a shot you need to watch out for. This is this. Hey, they're shooting this. I got shot by this. You can help each other out. Remember, it's a team sport. You all stand on the podium at the end. So don't be selfish. And I guess this is all a lot of mental side of things, just kind of things that I've learned. This is something that I think is really helpful, is when you have those thoughts that come in that are not going to be helpful. I think it was my mom got it from some book or whatever that she had mentioned. I can't remember how long ago, but like thoughts are like birds. You just don't want them to make a nest in your head. And there's nothing wrong with having a thought that comes in. Those thoughts are gonna happen. You're gonna have the self-doubt. You're gonna have those moments, but what you do with it is up to you. So if you let it fester, you're going to play poorly. It's just the way that it is. But if you go in and go, ignore that, take a breath and reset and go back out, that's fine. You can go out and go do that. So understand for you what's going to be helpful to push those thoughts away. Don't let those birds make a nest in your head and it's going to fester and let them live there. You don't want that. You want to make sure that you are staying focused, trusting the work that you put in, all of that, whatever it is that helps you to visualize like, no, I already did all this. I already know what I need to do on this field. We already know this, blah, 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 whatever it might be, and push those thoughts out. And the very last thing that I'm going to leave you with is, again, a mental thing. And I had to tell this to one of our other players that was upset about something that had happened. And we ended up, with second place. And I went and I told him, I said, look, allow yourself a couple minutes or a certain amount of time to be upset, but then after that, let it go. I actually had some players that were there that had other YouTube channels or wanted me to help with something, and they were like, hey, can we film this? And I was like, I need a minute. I can't. We just lost in overtime, and we had the point, and then it just ended up being a dirty hang. So for me, it was like, okay, let's reset. You allow yourself to have, I'm allowing myself 10 minutes to be upset, and then after that, it's in the past. I can't change anything about it right now. So that's that. There's no other thing that you can do. You can just be upset the whole time, or you can realize, okay, well, what can I do for the next event? What is it that I can do to improve my own game? I noticed this was slow, or this shot wasn't as good, or my laning wasn't as good as it could be, or my snapshot, whatever it might be. But allow yourself that time of grief, but then realize this is all going to be in the past, and it is in the past already because the game is over. Yeah, it sucks, but let's move forward. So that's just some thoughts from the Latin American Championship. Thank you so much to Vikings for bringing me on board, by the way. Awesome group. It was great to meet them and play with them, and to have brothers in Brazil now, which is kind of cool. So hopefully this is some stuff that you can take away, whether it just be one thing or two things, whatever it might be. Whatever it is that resonated with you, take it to heart and incorporate that into your game. So make sure that you are improving as a player and not just being stagnant. But thank you again, everyone, for watching. And as always, remember, watch, learn, win. Thanks.